What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of The Blitz.
You ain't about it, we moving out. We go and get it and get it. Pull up in Romans like Rarries and Porsches. The emergence is bigger and different. We talk about it, cause we about it. We with the business to business. Don't flip the script, or you get flipped. Don't you forget it, forget it. You ain't about it, we moving out. We go and get it and get it.
What's up, everybody? My name is Drew. This is my co-host, Josh. And we are The Blitz, presented by The Buzz. Obviously, this is a fantasy football show. If you are a newcomer to our show today, Josh, it is week 2 of fantasy football playoffs in most leagues. Obviously, some leagues go to week 17, but if they do, they're idiots. That makes no sense to me. So last week we got into it. We dove into it. Our show, guys, is first quarter. We're going to do with some quick hits, latest news. Go around the injury report. We're going to talk a little bit about the games yesterday and probably hit on a little bit of Thursday night, which was the Chargers and the Raiders. Obviously, yesterday was the Buffalo Bills against the Denver Broncos. And then the late game was the Green Bay Packers against the Carolina Panthers. We're going to dive into those games. We're going to talk about injury news to help you guys out for today. Who to start, who to plug in. Give us your questions. Give us what you need for advice. Me, Josh, and I are here to help you try to get that dub this week to get you into the championship round. And we're gonna dive in. We're gonna talk about it. Josh, first and foremost, as always, my brother, how was your week this week?
It was good, man. Working, trying to on that last stretch to the holiday. So just trying to get through work. All the Christmas stuff's ready to roll. Just got to get there. How about George?
Man, it was good, man. It was crazy. Like I was telling you in the backstage, yesterday was my son's birthday party. We still did it, even though COVID protocols. We don't care. We got to celebrate my son. We did some social distancing. Don't worry, people. And I'm on vacation, man. I'm on vacation the next 3 weeks. So work with the school system, obviously. So that's a benefit. Get paid while I get to fat out, pretty much drink hot chocolate and eat cookies. So with that being said, man, hey guys, before we dive into this, looking at the bottom of the ticker, we are in a partnership with Manscaped. As you can see, Josh is rocking his t-shirt today. If you look in the bottom ticker, as I said, manscaped.com, anything that you want to buy, use our promo code BLITZ 2020 and you get 20% off of any purchase that you buy on Manscaped at their website. 20% off. Here's a kicker, Josh. Free shipping.
Yep, that's huge. Amazon's killing people right now. Chuck from Paranormal Activities was telling me that he knows some people Amazon's like, well, if you want this by Christmas, even though it was 2-day shipping, you pay us $25 more, you'll get it. So free shipping is very clutch right now.
It's crazy. That's so crazy. So check out this awesome clip we have for Manscaped. Yes, sir. So there you go. That's your Manscaped. Your balls will thank you after you buy that purchase. Already off the bat, we got some comments. Willie, a regular viewer. Good morning, guys. Should I go with Breeze or Goff? Then Breeze or Cousins? Oh, my God. Hunt, Gallman, CEH, Fournette. I need 2 of these. Then my last question is, I'm in desperate need of a tight end. So should I roll with Smith Jr., or Trey Burton, Cole Kmet, Jimmy Graham, or Jordan Reed? Or do you all have a flyer I should pick up? All right, Willie, that's a lot. Let's dive into the first part. Josh, should he go with Breeze or Goff?
Goff. He's playing the Jets.
Yeah. For me, man, Breeze is coming off 8 or 9 or 11 fractured ribs. It's shaky. He's also going against a pretty surging good defense in KC. Also, that's a lot of time missed from playing in between the lines. Goff is the same bet. I know people are a little hesitant because of the run. But I really believe that Jared is going to have to throw the ball a lot in this game. Just you know what I'm saying, Josh? I just feel that in deep in my stomach. So Josh and I really are going with Goff on that one. Then Breeze or Cousins. No Cousins. No Cousins. Go with Breeze.
Yeah,
I guess. I think I'm reading that right. And then Hunt, Kareem Hunt, Wayne Gallman, CEH, or Fournette. I need 2 of these. Josh?
The Saints are kind of shaky against the run, as you saw with Hurts and Sanders. So CEH and the Giants are playing the Browns, who are also shaky against the run, as you saw on Monday night when they gave up like 45 rushing touchdowns. So I go CEH and Gallman.
Yeah, those are good choices. For me, I'm going on a limb here, Josh. I really like what Cleveland's doing. I got to go with Kareem Hunt. If you guys witnessed the game last time against the Baltimore Ravens, he was in a lot of the game during passing because he's the passing down back. So I'm going to go with Kareem Hunt because I think they're going to be passing a lot for Cleveland. And then for my next one, I'm going to stay away from Gallman. I'm definitely going to go Leonard Fournette. Here's why I'm going Leonard Fournette, Josh. Ronald Jones is out. Obviously, he got the surgery. He's done. And I don't. And if Fournette is good to go, right? I know we're going to dive into it. Fournette's good to go. I'm going to go with Fournette just because CEH hasn't really done a lot for me, Josh. And I know New Orleans, and I agree with you. New Orleans defense could be a pretty. If it comes to passing or running, it could be a little shaky on the running. But I really think Patrick Mahomes is going to try to light up the sky with the scoreboard with throwing the ball. I mean, there's already been some Twitter beef between Lattimore and Tyreek Hill, and who's going to match up with who's going to be better. But for me, man, I'm going to go with Kareem Hunt. I'm going to go with Leonard Fournette. I like that matchup a lot against Atlanta, and I think Tom Brady will emphasize Fournette a lot in the running game today.
Yeah, they need to.
Yeah, I agree. The last one, Josh, he's in a desperate need of a tight end. So should he roll with Irv Smith Jr., Trey Burton, Cole Kmet, Jimmy Graham, or Jordan Reed?
Not Jordan Reed. Jimmy Graham's banged up, but he's active. I don't like Cole Kmet. I mean, him and Graham are fighting for targets. It looks like Irv Smith Jr. is kind of taken that role from Kyle Rudolph. He's been trending upwards. I'd go Irv Smith Jr. And though there's really not any flyers that I see that's worth picking up.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you, Josh. You didn't know on that. For me, man, I yesterday last minute I picked up Tanyan in one of my leagues. He was available. I'm glad I picked him up. But obviously it's too late now because Tanyan already played. But with that, Willie, looking at these options, man, I would go with Smith Jr. I'm with my co-host as well, my partner. I feel like Irv Smith Jr. is going to get the best out of this bunch. Trey Burton, he's a lot of in and out right now, Josh. I don't know what's going on with the Colts tight ends. I know Mo Alley Cox has kind of dropped a little bit in his value, and the target share is not there right now, which I'm a little shocked because it's Philip Rivers. But it seems like it's T.Y. Hilton and my boy Pittman Jr. And then it's Hines and Jonathan Taylor. So like Burton is like 5 or 6 of the target depth chart when it comes to throwing the ball. Kmet, Graham are going to be fighting. Reed is really inconsistent right now. San Francisco's offense is really inconsistent. Irv Smith Jr., man, he's your best option in my eyes. Thanks for the question, Will. If you got any more, let us know, brother. David Jones, shaky against the run. That's the first 100-yard rusher in like 50 games.
Well, they also let 2 100-yard rushers and a quarterback in his first career start. Now you got Patty Mahomes and company coming in. So do you think it's going to get better or worse?
Good point. All right, guys, I'm going to get into it here. First quarter quick hit, latest news. We're going to drop down to it. Josh, hit us up with that injury report, brother.
Dude, it's kind of loaded. We'll start with 1 o'clock. Miami versus New England. Huge game for the Patriots. They win. They're still clinging to that hope. They lose. They're out. Miami's also fighting for a playoff spot. Mike Gesicki there's really no word yet. He's working out probably as we speak right now. He's definitely questionable. Like, he's legit, like, down to the wire, they said. It could be called 10 minutes for the game, according to Rappaport of NFL Network. Devontae Parker is active, their number one receiver. He will be lined up against Stephon Gilmore, which almost makes him a must start because he lights him up every single year. For some reason, Gilmore cannot contain that guy. The team, Grant, will be inactive. He kind of took over that slot role. He will not be playing today, and they're missing 2 offensive linemen, which is key for that run game, which they don't really have anyway, but just of note. Sticking with run game, Damian Harris of New England is out. Sonny Michel will start at running back along with James White. You're going to see split carries there. Sonny Michel's kind of in the Leonard Fournette role. He's only playing because Damian Harris is out, kind of how Leonard's only playing because Ronald Jones is out next week. Fournette was a healthy scratch, so that's kind of where he sits. Matthew Stafford's a baller, dude. He's going to play with a torn rib cartilage, even though his team's not in the playoff hunt. His number one receiver, Galladay's pretty much done for the season.
Yeah.
Marvin was banged up. He's active. Hawkinson is active as well. Hawkinson owners are finally getting good value out of the guy because he's balling out. He's actually their leading receiver, which shocked me when I saw that this morning.
Wow. Is the center playing with the fractured neck?
No, he's not. But I can't believe Stafford's playing.
Yeah, that's insane, dude. That's insane.
Edmonds is in Arizona.
Okay.
He will play. He didn't practice all week, though. They said it's going to be very reduced role. So passing downs. Hollywood Brown is activated off the COVID list. He'll be active for Baltimore. Jimmy Graham, active. Zeke is playing. They don't know how much. So Tony Pollard might be a nice sneaky pickup there. Evan Ingram's playing, and Colt McCoy's playing for Danny Dimes. And that's pretty much it. And Michael Thomas was the big news yesterday, right? He's out.
Michael Thomas.
So that's a huge one, especially when I took him 5th overall when you took Kamara at 6, and I should have just took Kamara.
God bless your soul. Guys, that's our injury report. I know there's a lot more injuries, obviously, Josh, that we got to go into. Michael Thomas is arguably, I would have to say, I know I'm going a little bit off topic here, but I have to say he's probably the biggest bust of the year.
He is.
Yeah. Probably Zeke second, and then obviously injuries. That's bearing injuries. CMC at third. It's insane how many first-round picks became busts this year. Saquon Barkley, the list can go on. All right, guys, before we dive into second quarter buy or sell, keep continuing to give us your comments and questions. Check out this awesome clip we got for you guys where you can follow the buzz.
Get the Lambo car, house in the hills with the stars. Told you I'd raise the bar, told you that I go far. Baby, it's crystal clear. I'm not a souvenir. I'm not an accessory. I'm a necessity, so come and check me out now. I'm a necessity, so come and check me out now.
Yes, sir. There we go. That's where you can follow the buzz: Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. YouTube subscribers is going up high. Check us out, man. Check us out. We got stuff every day. Forgot one. Saunders. I'm guessing this is Emmanuel Sanders.
Yeah.
Or your boy Pittman. I lost Michael Thomas and just realized Willie. I'm going to take the lead on this one. I'll give it to my partner after I'm done. It's real quick. Emmanuel Sanders by himself is not good. I looked over it yesterday, me and my buddy, because I got Emmanuel Sanders in my Dynasty League, and I'm still not plugging them in. And it's funny that you brought this up because I got Michael too. Started Michael Pittman against that atrocious Houston Texans defense. So I got to go with Pittman. He's not getting a lot of targets, but I feel like this could be a Phillip Rivers type of game where he's just going to throw. But I know Jonathan Taylor and Nyheim Hines is in the backfield, and it's just working what they're doing right now. And if you got Jonathan Taylor, he is my must-start of the week. But with that being said, I'm going Pittman over Emmanuel Sanders because with the Saints, we're going to see Drew Brees, we're going to see Alvin Kamara, and then we're going to probably see Tyson Hill come in and do some stupid-ass gadget plays that's going to kill my fantasy value for Kamara because I got Kamara plugged obviously everywhere this week, and I need him, especially next week against Josh when Josh and I fight in the championship. But with that being said, I would definitely go Pittman Jr. on this one, Willie. Josh?
Yeah, same. I drafted Michael Thomas and Emmanuel Sanders. Like, man, I got the handcuff. I'm good. Both were absolute busts. Sanders has really no value on his own. Could he have a great game? Sure, but he hasn't shown the ability to. I honestly trust Traquan Smith or Jared Cook on that offense more at the receiving end. Sanders is way too inconsistent, so I'd go with Pittman. Dude, that Houston secondary is trash.
Yeah, it really is. All right, guys, get to buy or sell second quarter. Let's get into it. We only got a couple more weeks left, so we're going to buy or sell on these 2 weeks moving forward. Los Angeles Rams running back Cam Akers, who has taken over the majority of the load. 59 carries, 327 yards, and 2 touchdowns over the last 3 games. 52.2 fantasy points over that span, which averages out to 17.4 per game. Josh, are you buying or selling on Cam Akers this week and next week?
I'm buying. I mean, you almost have to at this point. It's the Jets. So they're going to get up early. Golf will throw probably 3 touchdowns by halftime. Then the second half, you're going to just ground and pound with this guy. He's going to run all over them.
Yes.
And you see what he did in New England last Thursday night. He's big dude. He's hit his stride. You're seeing these rookie running backs kind of hit their stride here later in the year, which typically happens with rookie running back. It takes them a few weeks to get used to the schemes. With no training camp, and the Rams haven't really utilized their running backs particularly well. I feel like they never know who they want to use. It's Malcolm Brown, then it's Henderson, and now I think they found their guy, and he'll get fed. He'll get 20 to 30 carries today. So I trust him over the next 2 weeks.
I agree. Yeah, I'm buying him. Like we said earlier in this podcast, Jared Goff and this and that. I know people are hesitant with Jared Goff because Sean McVay loves to run that same formation, that run formation that's going to run, hit the A, B, C of gas, and then they're going to flip it. This is what they do, man. They average more than 4 yards each carry on each play. They'll run down your throat. The Jets are not prepared to stop this run. So Cam Akers, if you have Cam Akers right now, you should just be saliving in your mouth of this matchup because this potential here, he can do to New England last week. He could double that against the New York Jets. That's how scary Cam Akers is, a beast of a runner. Going to be a high pick next year, Josh. He's going to be a high pick in ADP next year.
He will. He'll be second round at minimum.
Eagles. Philadelphia Eagles running back Miles Sanders. 136 total yards, 115 rushing, 2 touchdowns in the first game since quarterback change. 29.6 fantasy points last week with Jalen Hurts at the helm. Are we buying or are we selling? Excuse me. I'm going to be go ahead. You want to go ahead? Go ahead.
Before you say it, he's on here because the quarterback change, right? If you want to talk about disappointments, isn't he one of those players that have been disappointing? So some people are looking at this like, obviously you play Miles Sanders, you idiot. Well, that's not really the case this year. He's been very bad, but go ahead.
Yeah, for me, man, I'm selling. I'm selling on this notion on Sanders. I gave up on him. I gave up on what he could do this week and next week. He probably will, tell me I'm an idiot and prove me wrong. But for me personally, man, I'm staying away from Miles Sanders. It's just too much kryptonite. Too much kryptonite I don't want to touch. I don't want to feel it. I don't even want to think about it. I do have it. I haven't benched for Cam Akers, so I'm not really, thinking twice about it. But I want to see what this Eagles team does, Josh, in the offseason to help Sanders because obviously, let's talk about it. He is going to be the face of this offense moving forward. I know Jalen Hurts is Jalen Hurts. And then I also got a little bit of breaking news here. my buddy just told me about this. PFF on Twitter, Carson Wentz has no interest in being a backup and would want to move from the Eagles if the current situation continues, per Adam Schefter.
Don't get more legit than Schefter.
So that, to me, tells me that Eagles are really in a bind to figure out what they're going to do this offseason. They probably just became the most interesting team to follow, and I wouldn't be surprised if HBO Hard Knocks is knocking on their door just because of this scenario. But with that being said, I don't trust Miles Sanders. I can't trust him moving forward this week and next week. So that's where I'm at. What about you, Josh?
I don't, but like it's going to depend on people's current running back situation, because where you draft, we say this every week and it's terrible. Like kind of where you drafted them, you kind of have to play them, right? I do feel like I sell, but I'm not like, oh my God, it's such a terrible play. And here's why: the quarterback change does help him. It's an RPO, more offense now. Wentz runs it too, but it's a little more. You've seen it's a little more effective with Hurts. Hurts is faster. He's more of a runner than Wentz. Wentz kind of runs for his life. I don't think he runs because he wants to. The offensive line's just terrible. But Hurts can move the line, and the RPO is way more effective. I'm still selling. If you have a better option, plug it. And I don't particularly love the matchup against Arizona. I feel like this is going to be a throwing kind of game, which I think also kind of hurts Jalen Hurts because he wasn't really effective throwing the ball last week. Barely over 50% completion. I have no idea why Eagles fans thought he was the greatest thing in the world after that game. Yes, they won, which I guess is a big deal since they win once every 4 months, but I'm selling.
Yeah, I agree. I'm selling as well. I got some more news here, Josh. I don't know if you read this or not, but a source from Ian Rappaport is saying Mike Gesicki, Devontae Parker, and Jakeem Grant are out.
So Parker's out as well.
Yeah.
As a Patriots fan, I feel fantastic. As fantasy owners, we'll get to that game later. Give me a second. They're losing a lot of depth there.
Eagles quarterback Jalen Hurts, 273 total yards, 106 of that was rushing, a touchdown last week in the first game as a starter, 20.28 fantasy points. Are you buying or selling on quarterback Jalen Hurts for this week and next week, Josh?
No, but he's here because he was the number one waiver wire pickup, I think, on the quarterback position, right? Because he had a great – everybody sees it. He's running. He's throwing. He's great. He's going to be the next big thing. He's not going to be right now in real life or in fantasies. But in fantasy-wise, the running option makes him really appealing because he can run touchdowns in. And he's playing Kyler Murray, and I expect a lot of scoring. But I do not trust him to throw the ball. I'm very interested. It's one game in. Like, he played well. They beat the Saints, who are a very good team. And I know everybody wants to get excited. I just don't trust him. And with the way people typically play with QBs, they play on matchup. So I feel like there's a better matchup. Most people don't even draft a quarterback. They just sign one each week and kind of roll with the matchup. So I'm selling. I just don't trust him. I see David Jones buying for the rushing yards. But if he gets 73 rushing yards, it's 7.3 points. If he's ineffective passing, does it really matter if he's not getting touchdowns? So I'm selling.
Fantasy owners, more breaking news. Zeke is out for today's game. Ezekiel Elliott is out for today's game.
You want my hot take on Zeke?
What's that?
You want my hot take on Zeke?
Let's hear it.
He's done. His days of being a top 5 running back are over. He's not the best running back on that roster right now. Tell me Tony Pollard does not look faster and run with a better burst than Zeke does.
He does.
You want to blame that offensive line? Tony Pollard's averaging almost 6 yards a carry behind the same line. Zeke's averaging not even 4, and he doesn't fumble the ball. I think he's done.
He kind of it's kind of that thing with Todd Gurley. I would say, Josh, early second, late second. I would see Zeke as an ADP. I think that's fair, just because of the name value. But obviously, we'll dive into that next August. That'll be fun to talk about.
It will.
But I agree with you. I 1,000% agree with you. Real quick, we got a lot of comments on the board. I'm going to go real quick. I am selling on Eagles quarterback Jalen Hurts. I'm not touching it. Don't want it. I know he gets a lot of rushing yards. He's going to get a lot of attempts to run the ball because he probably doesn't feel confident in the pocket on the ball. But I still just don't. I don't feel good about it. There's other cats in the sea for me to go and pick up and take. No, thank you. I'm staying away from it. My boy Joe Sonny. What's up, brother? How you doing, man? I'm guessing this is Deontay Johnson or Scary Terry. Easy one for me, brother. This is Scary Terry all day long. Look in the beginning of the season between him and Haskins, over 10 targets a game till Haskins was benched. And Terry was averaging around 18 and 19 points with Dwayne at quarterback. I'm easily going with Scary Terry just because of the target load he ought to get when Dwayne Haskins at quarterback.
Yeah, same. I mean, that's their number one receiver. Johnson's at best Pittsburgh's 3. Yes, they're playing Cincinnati. And I know how people like to have that Monday night player just to kind of have that extra,
Yes.
The last chance to get the win. Right. But you can't pass Scary Terry. And like you said, Haskins is going to feed his playmakers. So Logan Thomas and Terry is going to get tons of targets, I feel, today.
Yep. A couple more injury updates, guys, that I'm getting here. Matthew Stafford is active. He is playing, which is an amazing feat. Rashad Penny is active. According to the source, not going to have much of an impact on Chris Carson's carries. So just to throw that out there in case you wanted to feel bold to start Rashad Penny, which I don't know why you would. My boy David Jones, by Hurts just to the rushing yards. I mean, that's a fair point. You're in a league that benefits off quarterbacks running the ball. Go for it, dude. I have no issue with that. Willie, you all are awesomely. Appreciate it, Willie. Thank you, buddy. Thanks for tuning in as always. Josh, Steelers quarterback Big Ben, averaging under 20 fantasy points over the last 4 weeks. Upcoming games is the Bengals and the Colts and the Browns. Obviously, it's the Bengals this week, guys, and Indy next week, which is the championship round. Josh, for me, I'm selling on Big Ben, but I have to buy him for this week. It's kind of like a hit and miss type of thing. I love him against the Bengals. The Bengals defense doesn't scare me at all. I think Big Ben's going to light it up. But I will tell you this. He has dropped from the MVP conversation in reality. Well, I know people were talking about him a couple weeks ago. He had that big game. But it's Aaron Rodgers. And now I think Aaron Rodgers has dropped a little bit. I think it's going to be Mahomes if he lights it up one more game tonight.
Dude, today's the game. Saints-Chiefs. What else do you want, dude? What's everybody doing at 4:30 today? I mean, it's the game of the – if you're just basing it off Mahomes, returning Breeze, Michael Thomas not playing hurt my soul. It'd be so nice to see both teams fully loaded, ready to go, which hopefully we see these teams again because our predictions for the Super Bowl would be 100%.
Yes.
But, Big Ben, he's more of a comeback player of the year, runner-up to Alex Smith to me. I'm selling hard. This week he's playing the Bengals. Like I just said, people love that Monday night, having that Monday night player. I have Ebron. I'm playing Gronk over him because I'm playing against Big Ben. So I don't want to say Ebron because it's contradicting to getting me points. I'm buying this week, but I'm not messing with the Colts defense, even though they did get lit up a little bit last week. But Ben's so inconsistent, and that offense, something seems off, dude. He has a lot of weapons to be struggling to put up points like that.
Yeah. I could dive into it, but I don't. We'll stick with fantasy. But yeah, I agree with you. It's a very inconsistent play calling, very inconsistent plays. Big Ben looks old. He looks old right now. It's the stretch. It's that final stretch of the season. I'm pretty sure the Pistons Steelers just won. I think they clinched a playoff spot, if I'm correct. They want to win this division. Once they win this division, I think they're gonna coast, and they're just gonna have to realize that they're gonna have to play in the wild card because they're not gonna catch up to KC. So it is what it is there. Larry Joseph, no. I hope I said that right, man. Thanks for tuning in, brother. Really appreciate it. T.Y. Hilton, Josh, Kareem Hunt, Corey Davis, or Cooper Kupp. Full PPR, need one receiver, and one flex. Thanks,
right,
guys.
I'll tell you what I did. I had Kupp. Well, I had Mike Thomas. He's out. So I moved Kupp into wide receiver. He's playing the Jets. So I feel like he'll get his fair share of If Goff wants to get him the ball, he'll be able to. T.Y. is kind of the wild card, man. He's Drew. What happened the last month? He's here again. T.Y.'s producing.
Healthy.
Always produces, and him and your boy Rivers is on the same page. Corey Davis had a great year, as you said about Kareem. These are all really good options, man. I'd go Cup. I don't like. I mean, we know what the Jets are, right? And I'd go Kareem Hunt. It's crazy. A 230-pound back is their passing down back. It blows my mind. But Kareem Hunt's that good. When he was with Kansas City, he was a wrecking machine until he got in trouble and he had to cut him. He just kind of fell into the Browns' lap, and luckily for him, he got his stuff together and he's playing really well. I'd go Cup and Hunt, but these are really good options.
Yeah, Larry, man, my co-host hit. He's on his money this morning as always. For me, this is tough. T.Y. Hilton is probably, arguably, Josh, the most hottest receiver going into this week. I believe we did a buy or sell last week on him, if I'm correct. We 3 touchdowns. Now he's had 4 after our show last week. Larry, I'm going T.Y. Hilton. I got to go with him just because of just the pure hotness that he's on right now. Just like David Montgomery, you have to ride with a hot hand, and I'm riding with T.Y. Hilton. It seems like he's healthy. It seems like he's in the system of this offense where he's going to get most of the targets. If not, he's going to get more than 6 or 7 and come with production. So he's one for me. I'm staying away from Cooper Kupp just because of the mouths that need to be fed on this Rams offense. It scares me a little bit. And I'm going to stay away from Corey Davis just because of Derrick Henry, Jonnu Smith, and A.J. Brown. So that leaves me with Kareem Hunt. Kareem Hunt's going to get more than 10 to 12 carries, and he's going to get more than 8 to 10 targets in passing. Got to go with Hilton. Got to go with Kareem Hunt. Boom. Apparently Fournette is out, so it's Pollard. Yep, it's Pollard or it's Kevin Balaj, right? Not Balaj. What's his name?
Who the hell is playing?
Keyshawn Vaughn. I'm sorry.
Keyshawn Vaughn playing for Tampa. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Tom Brady's fantasy value just skyrocketed for today, and every receiver on the team.
Yep. I'd be all in on Pollard with Zeke out. I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
Question before was Fournette or Pollard. I'd go Pollard, even if Fournette was playing. Watch Pollard, dude. Pollard has looked good. Every time he gets a chance to get in the game, he just has a burst that you don't see from Zeke.
I agree.
He's gonna. I think Dallas found something there. They're kind of in the Philip. Maybe they can trade Zeke for Wentz, and they can both get out of their salary cap hell, because that's how Dallas is going to be with Zeke. They're going to need to try to figure out how to get him off their books.
I would.
They need a lot of other needs.
Great point, Josh. Great point. Thanks a lot, guys. You're welcome, Larry, man. Anytime, bro. We appreciate it. Hope you can come on next week as well, because that's our championship, and that will be our final show of the year. Hunt, Godwin, or David Johnson, Josh?
We'll eliminate David Johnson right off the bat. Hunt or Godwin? David Johnson, his injuries scare me. He's one of those guys, gets 2 carries, he leaves the game, not coming back with a calf injury. That's what David Johnson does. Plus, you have 2 much better options with Hunt and Godwin. Man, Godwin's value just skyrocketed a little bit with they're going to have no running game. I don't think they're going to give Keyshawn Vaughn the ball 30 times. No. I think he's going to spread you out 5 wide. Gronk, Godwin, Evans, and his boy and roommate Antonio Brown are going to get 7 targets each. It is. They're roomies.
I know they are.
But with that being said, Kareem Hunt's a safer bet for me. Like you said, he's going to get 10 to 15 carries on the ground, because Cleveland's shown all year they're balanced between both backs. They're not feeding one more than the other. And he's going to get screens, and he's catching the ball downfield. He's not just catching screen passes. He's running routes and catching passes, which is insane for his size. So I go Hunt, but man, if you can squeeze Godwin in somewhere else, dude, if you got better options, then do your thing. But Godwin's a good start too. They're going to spread the ball out today, I think.
Yeah, man. For me, dude, it's Godwin is a really, really tempting choice, Josh. I agree with you. Brady's going to throw this ball 35 to 45 times this game. Now that we know for sure that Fournette is out and he's inactive. Ronald Jones is gone. So with that being said, man, I'm looking down the line and I'm seeing Hunt, Godwin, or David Johnson. I can't trust David Johnson, Josh. His injuries, his inconsistency. We're talking about a guy that was a premier player back in 2016, which we feel like that was like 1996. It's not happening anymore with David Johnson. Dude Johnson is out. I understand it, but I'm still not going with him. I'm not going with Chris Godwin, Josh. Too many mouths to feed. This offense is going to be focusing. Tom Brady will be the type of quarterback today that's probably going to focus on Scotty Miller and Antonio Brown, and then Mike Evans and Rob Gronkowski is going to get the red zone targets. I got to stay away from Godwin. Kareem Hunt seems like everybody's like trying to decide between Kareem Hunt and everybody else. Listen, Kareem Hunt is an amazing choice. Be confident in that pick. Start him. He gets a lot of production on the field. I don't understand why people – I had a couple comments this week. A couple buddies text me, Kareem Hunt or this. Guys, Kareem Hunt is a beast in this offense. There's a reason why the Cleveland Browns struck gold and signed him to a 2-year deal extension. And for cheap, this guy is playing bananas out of his mind. A lot of catches out of the backfield. He runs routes on the slot, in the outside, X, Y, and Z positions. He is their go-to when Nick Chubb is out. He is their go-to in the passing game and in the rushing game. All day long, Kareem Hunt. All day long, Ryan. Take him. I appreciate you with the question, though, brother. Thank you. Josh, Nyheim Hines. Ooh, this is good. Or McKissick. And obviously we know that Antonio Gibson is out.
Yeah. So who's the other guy? Peyton Barber, I think, their other running back.
Yeah, Peyton Barber. Yeah.
Hines. They're playing Houston, whose defense is very bad against the run. Hines doesn't run the ball much. Fair point. They're also terrible against the pass. So he's going to get targets out of the backfield. He's got at least 7 targets as a receiver in the last 5 games. So
yes.
Tad bit of consistency there, right? Jonathan Taylor is going to get the ball in between the tackles, and Hines going to come in for passing situations. The Colts have their running back due for the next 5 years, and it's very, very good. So I'd go Hines.
Fournette is in. Fournette is playing.
I was looking for it, and I didn't see anything. Like, he was a terrible last week. So obviously he's healthy. So I was like, what did he do? Tear his hamstring getting up this morning? Because he could. He did it in Jacksonville.
So with that being said, Ryan, go with not Ryan. Who was it? Who wrote that thing?
Sonny.
So yeah. Don't go with Godwin. Yeah, for me, man, this is pretty tough. Alex Smith is out, so he likes to check down to the running back a lot. That's where McKissick's value is in the passing game. Nyheim Hines is going to get a lot of targets with Phillip Rivers against this bad Houston defense. I'm going to go with Nyheim Hines barely, but I wouldn't be mad at you if you went either way because I understand the matchup quality and the projected points that McKissick is looking at. I got to sit in myself. I'm sitting him for Hines in my own dynasty league, which I'm playing against Brandt. So I got to go with Hines. I'm going to go with the hotter hand. I got to go with Hines, man. I'm sorry. That's rough. Ryan, hey, guys. Great job today. Thank you, Ryan. I appreciate it, brother. Ryan Rupo. Thanks, fellas. You're welcome, man. Larry said go with McKissick. All right, that's fair. Good argument for me. Larry, even if Fournette is in, I like Pollard a lot more with the workload, without a doubt.
Yep.
Right, Josh? Are we agreeing on that?
Yes. Pollard's – I just texted our boy Archie, and I said, you need to pick up Pollard now because he needs a running back. He has Barber and McKissick playing. I told him to get Pollard and put his ass in and take Barber out. We'll see if he gets there. Yikes.
Ridley, Ryan, Calvin Ridley, or Terry McLaurin? Oh, my God. I'm leaning Ridley, but he seems to do much better when Julio plays.
I'm pretty sure Julio's out.
He is out. Oh, I'm struggling on this one.
Who's Atlanta playing? They're playing Tampa. I'd go Ridley.
Yeah, Ryan. Yeah, I agree with you. I go Ridley as well, just because he's been balling out every week. I think
quarterbacks. Who do you trust more, Haskins or Matt Ryan?
Matt Ryan.
That's why I'd go Ridley.
Matt Ryan, without a doubt. Matt Ryan. Yeah, that's tough, Ryan. I feel your pain on that one, but Just going off of what is there. I'm going Calvin Ridley just because he's been going off this year, man. What a great pickup for people who picked him up in great drafting, whatever it is that you're going with. But Calvin Ridley for me, man, he stretches the field great. He's going to get most of the targets with Matt Ryan, with Julio out. I got to go Calvin Ridley. Right? Are you with that, Josh?
Yep.
James on COVID-19. Jameis. No, I don't care about Jameis. There's only one guy that cares about Jameis, and we don't talk about him. Drew's overachieving in our fantasy league. You're damn right I am. Carlton Davis is on Ridley, but Haskins is throwing McLaren. Ohio State connection. Yep. Yeah.
Oh, my God, don't get me started.
Yep. Really it is. Hopefully he will catch another TD pass from Gage. Thanks. I agree, Ryan. I agree.
How many times every week we see a receiver throw a touchdown, right? It's all every week.
Always.
There's at least one game where you see it.
Always. Last one, guys, and then we'll get into our start and sit 'em for our pickup for the week. Cardinals tight end Dan. Oh God, you son of a bitch, Dan Arnold.
Put some respect on his name.
Godly. 30.8 fantasy points over the last 2 weeks. 2 touchdowns. I'm not gonna comment on this. Go ahead, Josh.
Put some respect.
There's no respect.
Dan Barr's husband, Dan Arnold, because I pick him up. He's available in like 70% of leagues. He's a TV star. He's a 74-yard touchdown catch last week.
It's too much.
7 targets. It's him. Who is the 2 Hyatts? Look, David Jones. David gets it. See, David understands. Dan Arnold, start him.
David's high.
You need a plug-in? Start Dan Arnold. Why are you hating on him? 30 points the last 2 weeks. The only person targeted more in Arizona's offense is D-Hop.
Well, he should be. He should be targeted more than Dan Arnold.
Gerald, Christian Kirk, Chase Edmonds. Who's their number 2 target, though? It's Dan Arnold.
I'm not having this conversation.
Dude, next year he's a top. He'll be taken in like the 8th or 9th round. He'll be a top 20 tight end next year in fantasy.
Oh my God. Okay. All right.
Don't hate it. We're gonna get Dan Arnold on this show next year.
Hey, go ahead and try. I'm not even gonna get into that. All right, guys. Before we get down to third quarter, check out this awesome clip we have for you for all of our podcast shows that you can check out and watch during the week.
War. Tell them that's what we ready for. War. Tell them that's what we ready for. War. Bringing that to competitors. Till we see the confetti fall, be ready for war. Tell them that's what we ready for. War. Tell them that's what we ready for. War. Bringing that to competitors. Till we see the confetti fall, be ready for war. Tell them I'm ready, any opponent. The crown heavy and every minute is chosen. A path only fit for kings, and you won't know what this court means. What did you enlist for? If it isn't getting more rings, then you gon' have to switch your team. Trust me, it gets more mean. I'm a nightmare going up against your dreams. First step is explosive like a bomb hit. Bet if I let it fly, I cannot miss. And you ain't got a chance at the top 10 when you getting clamped all night by a locksmith. On the block throwing lobs to my top bigs. I'm a chef, no look, what's the top dish? Tie game, through the pressure as the clock ticks. Crossover, step back, hit a shot, swish. Tell them that's what we ready for. Tell them that's what we ready for.
Yes, sir. The Buzz. Follow it on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And that is all of our shows that you can catch us each and every day. Big things are happening at the Buzz, Josh. Big things are happening.
Yep. Every day we got something.
Yes, sir. Love it. All right, guys, get into our final portion of the show, which is third quarter, start 'em, sit 'em. We're going to go through each game real quick, talk about it, talk about the matchups, who should you start, who should you sit, and get ready for some controversy because that's what Josh and I do. We bring the truth and the honesty to each and every game. And to start it off, Josh's New England Patriots, who are still trying to fight for a playoff spot, are going against the Miami Dolphins. Josh, who are we starting? Who are we sitting?
Tua. So I got to congratulate you first.
Why?
You have your franchise quarterback for the next 15 years. The dude's
Damn
a baller, man. I watched him Thursday. He's poised. He's good. He's going to be great. He might be the best quarterback in this draft, which is bizarre because this is going to go down as one of the best quarterback drafts in history. And that's a huge reach because we're not even a full year in yet. Just wait because we obviously know. But with all that being said, why I brought that up is one, to congratulate you, and two, Bill Belichick blanked Justin Herbert, who I think is a step above Tua at this point. So what do you think I'm going to think he's going to do to Tua? Sit Tua. I would sit to a rookie quarterbacks. Bills 25-9. It's in Miami though, Josh. They struggle. To be fair, Tom Brady struggled in Miami. All the time. Cam struggles everywhere he plays, so it doesn't matter on either front. So I'm sitting Tua. I like Cam in this matchup though, rushing the ball because he lit Miami up week 1. He had almost 100 yards rushing and he had 2 rushing touchdowns. That's one of the 2 games this year he has played well, and they're going to run the ball this week. Sonny Michel, if you need a sneaky plug-in, I personally think James White's the better option out of the 2. I think he's going to get a lot of balls out of the backfield. And James White is a very sneaky kind of in-between the tackles kind of runner. He's a pretty solid in-between the tackles guy, even though he's little. But you said Devontae's out?
Yeah, Parker's out.
So where does that leave Miami at wide receiver? Like they have nothing left.
That leaves them with
So Preston Williams, right?
No, he's out. If I'm correct, I think he's out.
So their depth chart. Yeah. So Parker and Grant are out. So Mac Hollins and Malcolm Perry. Tua, everybody. Tua's. Do you start nobody on the Dolphins except their defense?
And no Gaskins either.
The only play for Miami, everybody, is their defense.
Yes. Yeah.
That's it. I'm starting their defense against my favorite team. I mean, you know how much that hurts me because I want my team to win, but that's kind of how I feel about New England's offense.
Yeah, well, Miami's defense is very strong, so you have to start them. I mean, it's a safe start. I'm starting Miami's defense. I'm still plugging them in because it's
Let me ask you this. Do I play New England's defense against this depleted Miami team, or do I play Miami's defense against New England? I have both.
As of right now, I would go in New England.
All right, well, you go. I'm going to make a switch.
As of right now, I would go New England just because. I mean, look, they have no one. I mean, it's going to be really hard for Tua to get this thing going. Now, look, Tua could shock us because DeAndre Washington could probably do something in the backfield. They got DeAndre. They got I can't say the guy's name. I can never pronounce it right, but he's coming off an injury of a sure.
Oh, Ahmed.
Ahmed, yeah. So you got those two going to the running game. It's okay. The offensive line is pretty good, but this is gonna be a 12-line game. So I mean, you could plug either or of these two defenses and feel okay. But for me personally, I'm going New England just because it's Bill Belichick against a rookie quarterback who's never faced him before. Because last time they played, it was Blitz. Now it's Tua. So, yeah, I'm staying away from this matchup in everything. DFS, anything. I'm staying away from it. And I agree with everything you said. I have nothing else. I have no one else to plug in. So
you think this is going to be a 14-10 game, right?
I agree. Someone prays for me in my dynasty league. I need it. Yeah, you do. It's not going to happen. Even holy water wouldn't help you. Buffalo Bills against the Denver Broncos. We already this game.
Yeah, my bad. I forgot they were Saturday. Hey,
let's talk about it. Let's talk about it real quick. Since we're talking about the Bills, do you want to admit that Josh Allen is now the quarterback that you like?
No.
Do you want to admit that you were wrong?
No.
I
never won a playoff game yet.
Oh my God. All right. Anyways,
regular season quarterback. I need to see him win a playoff. Is it too much to want to see him win a playoff game? It's the same thing I have with Lamar.
Fantasy wise, is Josh Allen a good quarterback?
No, he's absolutely top 3 this year. I'll give him props in fantasy. I'll leave my personal feelings aside.
Okay.
Top 3, and next year he's going to be one of the. It's going to be Mahomes, Rodgers, and Josh Allen, the 3 guys that you're going to want to pick. I'll give him props there.
I disagree.
Okay, well then you quit hating on Josh Allen then.
Hey,
from props, then you bury the guy.
Let's dive in. Let's dive in real quick. Josh Allen is arguably, probably, if it wasn't for Patrick Mahomes, my MVP for quarterback, for the quarterback position for fantasy football this year. Talk about a sophomore to junior year, his third year in the NFL. I have seen such amazing strides for this guy, and it's all because of giving him more weapons on the offensive side. The inclusion of the inclusion of Stephon Diggs has made this guy a better quarterback, and he still has some issues to fix. But his ability to extend the play, Josh, and to throw on the run is amazing to me. It's truly amazing because you don't see that that much with the type of quarterback and his stature. Because with Cam Newton, he's huge, and with Cam running the outside, you really don't see Cam throw on the run. It's usually he runs. Just to give an example, Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, and all these cats, and even Justin Herbert, they are really good at running on the outside and throwing the ball. But Josh Allen, I think, is one of the best. And
a 30-yard touchdown run yesterday. First off, he's running with the ball out here, but he doesn't matter because nobody's near him. And the people that do, he's literally shoving them to the he's huge. You can't tackle him. He's literally what Ben Roethlisberger wishes he was because he's as big as Ben, but he doesn't go down.
I agree.
And he doesn't get hurt. He takes hits, and he's granted he's younger. Ben didn't either, but he reminds me of a slightly better Ben Roethlisberger.
At his age?
Yes. I agree. Ben
at his age?
The people are going to say Ben won the Super Bowl. He also had a great steel curtain. He had a great defense.
Oh, yeah. He had a great defense, too, but he still played great in the postseason. That's a lot to say, bro. That's a lot.
He's going to be a better quarterback when he's done than Ben Roethlisberger. That's where I'll give him that.
All right. Other than that, guys, Denver Broncos, Melvin Gordon had a really good game. Everything that Drew Lock, I'm still iffy on him, on what his future is going to be in Denver. Denver has a lot of questions. John Elway could be on the hot seat. There was some reports saying John Elway could face some backlash because they're not finding a good quarterback since Peyton Manning retired in 2015 when they won the bowl.
He's never found a quarterback, right? He just signed him. He's never drafted one.
He's drafted some. He's
never drafted one that's been good.
Brock Osweiler, Paxton Lynch, and now Drew Lock. So
dude, I like the meme that I saw yesterday. Drew Lock is Brock Osweiler with swag. That's it.
Stupid. With Buffalo, man, it's Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs, and a little bit of Cole Beasley, who's having a huge year, really sneaky year, huge year for Buffalo. He could be in that tier 2, tier 3 receivers now for fantasy next year. It's going to be really interesting to see where he's going to go for his ADP.
He put up 19 points yesterday, 8 catches, 112 yards.
Douglas Pinto, Breeze, Cousins, or Stafford?
Man.
Drew Brees is going to go against Kansas City. Kirk Cousins is playing against
the Bears.
I'm staying away from Kirk Cousins. And Matthew Stafford is playing against
Detroit is playing Tennessee.
Doug, Drew Brees. By default, I'm going Drew Brees. I'm staying away from the Lions and the Titans. I'm staying away from that.
Listen, bro, I'm looking at waivers because these are, Breeze is my backup quarterback. But I'm looking at waivers, man.
Jalen Hurts?
Is he a better option than Breeze? Breeze coming off an injury. Matthew Stafford's got destroyed ribs just like Breeze did. Kirk Cousins, I feel like Cousins might be the safest bet. He's the only one not coming off an injury.
Yeah. I agree with you.
I'd plug Breeze in because I think this could be a shootout that we see later on.
I agree. Locke had a beautiful throw before the half and then immediately fumbled to start the second half. I agree. Yeah, it's true. It happened. Carolina, just go real quick. Carolina Panthers and Green Bay Packers. Kind of a letdown for Devontae Adams and Aaron Rodgers owners. Didn't get more than 15 points after Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams have been the most lethal combination between a quarterback and receiver all year. And Carolina showed up, and it was more of an Aaron Jones type of game, which helps me out a lot. So with that being said, for Carolina, Josh, does it seem to you – I want to ask this question to you. Does it seem to you that Carolina is a few players away from being a contender? So, sorry, I think my partner froze up a little bit. With that being said, yeah, guys, Carolina Panthers, they are just a few players away to me. They are a quarterback away from continuing to be in this division to be a contender in the NFC. So it's going to be really interesting to see what they're going to do moving forward for next year, because the pieces are there. The pieces are there. Carolina's a quarterback away. I agree, David. They are a quarterback away. The San Francisco 49ers go against the Dallas Cowboys. For me in this game's a little bit tough. Zeke is out. So with Zeke being out, we have to look at Tony Pollard. I think Pollard's a great addition to add into your fantasy team, which is huge, because Tony Pollard could do a lot of things that Zeke can do as well. But like my partner said earlier in this podcast, Tony has a little bit more burst in his engine. So I'm definitely going to go with Tony Pollard here as a must start. I'm looking at receivers. I'm not really happy about Amari Cooper or Michael Gallup. I'm not starting any quarterback for the Cowboys. So I'm going to flip it over to San Fran. San Fran, I'm not really impressed with anything. Raheem Mostert is the only guy I would probably look at. Oh, Brandon Ayuk. Those are the two guys I'll be looking at for the San Francisco 49ers. Not much about this game that really, tickles my pickle.
Debo's out too. My bad. My internet's been fucking weird for the last week. It just randomly disconnects, but whatever. Debo's out. I don't know if you said that already when I was trying to get back.
Yeah, you're fine.
So he's out. So Ayuk's the only one of value, and Pollard, which I know you said. I think Pollard's a great start today.
Yeah. Let's move on here to the Chicago Bears at the Minnesota Vikings. For me, guys, I'm looking at this game, and I like the Bears' offense against this middle of the pack, lower end Vikings defense. But the problem is it's Mitch Trubisky. So we don't know what kind of Trubisky we're going to get. So hot and cold, so in and out. But there's one guy there's two guys. I'm sorry, Josh. There's two guys. Must start David Montgomery. Must start Allen Robinson. Other than that, I don't see that must starts for Chicago Bears offense at all. I'm sitting Mitch Trubisky, and I'm sitting the tight ends. I don't like them. Minnesota Vikings, obviously Dalvin Cook, obviously JJ, and obviously Adam Thielen. And then I am going to start. I am going to sit Irv Smith Jr. I don't like the matchup against Chicago. I think Chicago will focus on the tight end too much. And then obviously Dalvin Cook is going to have a day like no other. And I'm sitting Kirk Cousins. I don't like this matchup against Chicago, the division rival. I hate starting quarterbacks with division rivals. Don't like it at all, Josh. And what do you think? What do you have?
Well, I put Montgomery in my flex. So typically I don't like putting running backs there, but he's been hot the last 3 weeks. Like he's balling. He had that huge touchdown run last week, and they run the ball more with Mitch in there. Like Mitch has not looked terrible, but you're right. He's super inconsistent. I mean, he lit up Houston. 36-7. He looked. If they can get that kind of Mitch more consistently, I don't know. I still don't think he's the guy, but I'm with you. I'm benching Mitch. Montgomery and Robinson are my two starts. Too many mouths to feed at the tight end position. Graham is kind of banged up, so everybody thinks Kmet could get some snaps there. I don't see it still. I don't trust it enough. Dalvin Cook, Justin Jefferson, Adam Thielen. That's the regular suspects for Minnesota.
Agree. Tampa Bay Buccaneers are going against Atlanta Falcons. Josh, who you got?
The passing game of Tampa. But like you said earlier, that's a lot of mouths to feed. So you have to roll who's Brady's most targeted guys. That's Mike Evans and that's going to be Gronk in the red zone. Godwin, you have him, you kind of got to play him. You probably drafted him pretty damn high. And if Godwin had 2 touchdowns today, would it shock anybody? It's just going to be who's open. I think Brady's going to sit back there. Who's open is they're going to get the ball, and that's when Brady's at his best. He can sit back there. And Atlanta has no pass rush whatsoever, so he should have time. On Atlanta's side, I feel like they're going to be playing from behind. I'd bench Todd Gurley, and Gage is a sneaky kind of flex player if you're in a tight spot and you need one, because no Julio, so that elevates Calvin to the 1, and Gage will be your 2. I don't like Hayden Hurst. I don't know why he doesn't fit in Atlanta. They give up a lot to bring the guy in. He's been one of the disappointing tight ends. I thought that he could replace Austin Hooper, and Austin Hooper is another disappointment this year. He's out tonight as well against the Giants, which they need all hands on deck because the Giants have a very good defense. But that's about it. Ridley, Gage on the Atlanta side.
Yeah, I never understood the Austin Hooper going to Cleveland. I never got it. I said it on Game Winning Drive when we did the free agent signing period show. One of the most idiotic signs I thought for both parties, which is Cleveland and Austin Hooper. I would have re-signed with Atlanta for less money because he had the most production with Atlanta. Matt Ryan loves the tight ends. This is why everybody thought Hayden Hurst was going to be that guy, but for some reason, there's a disconnect. There's just a disconnect. It's not working. So it makes no sense. For me, guys, it's Calvin Ridley. It's Russell Gage as must starts. I'm sitting Matt Ryan on the Atlanta side. I'm sitting Todd Gurley. Tampa Bay, I'm looking at Tom Brady. I'm looking at Antonio Brown. I'm looking at Chris Godwin. I'm looking at Mike Evans, and I'm sitting Gronk. That's where I'm looking at. I definitely think that Tom Brady is my must start of the week for a quarterback for Sundays, because obviously Herbert was my must start of the week against a bad Raiders defense, but we're on Sunday now.
He lit it up.
Yes, he did. Jacksonville Jaguars going against the Baltimore Ravens. For me, the Jaguars on the offensive side, there's only one guy who is probably arguably the greatest waiver wire pickup this year, which is James Robinson at running back. He's the only one I'm plugging in. I'm sitting everybody else. I am not even trying to start Minshew. Don't even try it. It's stupid. Baltimore Ravens, obviously, Hollywood Brown is a start for me. And J.K. Dobbins is a must start for me. Lamar Jackson, obviously, and Mark Andrews. Not really much to get in this game. Baltimore should handle Jaguars very easily, even in fantasy.
You know, James Robinson, if he gets over 70 yards in this game, he will have the most 70-yard games in history from a rookie in fantasy.
Crazy.
James Robinson is probably the best waiver wire pickup ever. And the Jaguars, it's their only good player. That's the only guy I'd start. Baltimore, Lamar's going to have his game, man. You guys have been waiting for him. You've been waiting for him. You've been waiting for him. You probably took him in the 3rd or 4th round, right? Coming off a great season, you probably went high on Lamar. You're going to get some dividends today. He's going to run. He's going to be throwing. Hollywood's active. Mark Andrews is, they said, the healthiest he's been in a while.
Yep.
Lamar's going to ball out, dude. Baltimore's going to win and keep those playoff hopes alive.
If you kept Lamar Jackson, and it's been a struggle this year with him, has he not paid off for you last week, and now he gets this matchup this week? That's going to get you to the championship. Yep. Over 40 points last week, and now this week he should eat over 25. I mean, there should be no excuse unless they're going to run with J.K. Dobbins and Gus, which I don't see happening. I think he's going to pay a huge amount for the owners that kept him all year. So great. That's probably the great matchup for quarterback this week is him going against this bad Jaguars defense. Detroit Lions against the Tennessee Titans. I like this game from a standpoint for the Tennessee Titans a lot. This is going to be Derrick Henry day. I have him plugged in 5 lineups for DraftKings and FanDuel. He's going to have a heyday. He should against a bad Lions defense that's missing players. Calvin Ridley, Corey Davis, AJ Brown are must starts. Another start for me is Jonnu Smith. Ryan Tannehill is a must start. I'm sorry, Josh, I messed up. I'm sitting Corey Davis. Just too many mouths to feed. I'm going with AJ Brown. I'm going with Jonnu Smith. From the Lions side, I'm sitting Stafford. He's hurt. I don't feel comfortable with it. And I'm starting the only guy I'm starting on the only two guys I'm starting. No, sorry, three. TJ Hawkinson, DeAndre Swift, and Marvin Jones are my three starts for the Detroit Lions. And I'm sitting Matt Stafford.
Adoree Jackson's back for Tennessee, so he'll be out in the secondary running around. For Tennessee defense owners, that could be interesting because his kick returning ability is very key. So that'll be interesting to see how much he plays, though. I'm with you, dude. Nothing on Detroit really has me feeling good this week. Stafford's hurt. I don't know why he's actually out here playing. I respect it. I just don't get why. His team's not in the playoff hunt. I don't want him to further get injured. He's already been through a lot injury-wise this year. Marvin Jones and TJ Hawkinson, that's about it on that side. For Tennessee, A.J. Brown's really stepped it up this year. Derrick Henry's probably the number one running back to start every week. Well, we have two more weeks. This is what he does every year. He'll probably get around 200 yards today. He does it every November and December. He starts hitting that stride going into the playoffs. He'll do it again today.
Prediction. I got a bold prediction. Derrick Henry next year in 2021 will be a top 3 drafted running back.
Yep.
Next year. It's a bold prediction I have. Seattle Seahawks against the Washington football team. You almost got me this time. Seattle Seahawks, for me, it's tough, Josh. I don't like this matchup at all for Russell Wilson. This front seven is scary. I think Chris Carson is not going to get a lot. I'm sitting Chris Carson. I am sitting Tyler Lockett. And I'm starting DK. And I'm starting – you have to start Russ. You just have to. Washington side, I'm starting Terry McLaurin. I'm starting J.K. McKissick. And that's it. I don't like Washington's offense at all in this game.
No, this screams defensive struggle.
Yes.
In defense, and this is like the popular upset pick of the week is Washington actually beating Seattle outright and with the spread, which ain't surprisingly only like 3, I think, which shows you how much Vegas likes Washington's defense. I'm with you, Terry. I like Logan Thomas actually too. I think Haskins coming in, he's going to target the few weapons he does have, and those are the two main guys with McKissick out of the backfield. Seattle, Metcalf's really it, man. And Rashad Penny has no value. People are all – I know for their playoff aspirations in real life, it's fantastic he's back. But fantasy-wise, he has no value whatsoever. He's not worth a roster spot. He's going to get – he has nothing to offer as far as fantasy. Carson, I'd sit as well, unfortunately. But based on your running back situation you're in, you might have to play him. But Washington's defense is good, man, and they're loaded with first and second round picks on that front seven. Then you can just bring a guy off like Kerrigan off the bench in pass rushing situations. And this Chase Young kid's a monster. Not a lot of fantasy value here, man. Metcalf's the only guy in Seattle I trust.
I agree. Houston Texans are going against the Indianapolis Colts. I like this match a lot for both teams. For the offensive side, we saw what Deshaun did last time against Indy. He was a fumble away from winning the game against Indy, which would have just destroyed Colts' chances of winning the division probably. For me, John, I'm hitting David Johnson. Don't want him, don't need him, and don't trust him. I am starting Deshaun Watson, and I am starting just because I feel like something could happen. He's got someone to throw to, Brandon Cooks. Just because Will Fuller's gone. That's the only reason why. So I'm definitely going to go with Brandon Cooks. I'm definitely going to go with Deshaun Watson. The Colts side, this is just it's unfair. It's just unfair. If you have Jonathan Taylor, if you have Hines, even if Phillip Rivers, if he's someone to plug in this week, I'm plugging in Phillip Rivers. And then Michael Pittman and T.Y., all starts. There's someone's going to go up, Josh, from the receiver side. We don't know who, but our best bet is T.Y. or Michael Pittman. I'm going with either or. Got to start him.
Yeah, and you got Duke Johnson inactive today as well on the Houston side. So David Johnson, I see why he's so attractive to everybody. I mean, they're number 2. So Duke Johnson and C.J. Prosise are both inactive. So it's literally going to be David Johnson day. I couldn't tell you who their other running back is, not that it even matters at this point, but David Johnson's going to get a ton of the carries. So you could get a rushing touchdown or something out of that, right? But outside of that, I agree. I actually really like Brandon Cooks in this matchup. And Deshaun's going to get 300 yards and a couple touchdowns. That's Deshaun. He's a baller. That's what he does. Buddy Howell is the second running back. So, Drew, I actually think David Johnson's a good start because he's all they have. They have no other running backs. Buddy Howell, I don't even know who he is.
I mean, it's a good start, but it's the matchup is the problem.
Yeah, the matchup's rough, but he might just get the ball based on.
I mean, at the goal line, yeah, he can. I mean, I get that part.
So yeah, I wouldn't start him personally, but he's going to be your main guy. So he'll also get some targets out of the backfield now that Duke's out. I like Brandon Cooks. I'm sitting Cootie. I know everybody loves him because he's had a touchdown the last 2 games. I'm sitting him still. The Colts side, all of them are startable, but it's like who gets fed. I agree with you. T.Y., Pittman, and both running backs. I'd start. And Rivers, if he's on waivers, grab him if you need one. And I'm shocked he's actually on waivers. If he's on waivers, that's kind of bizarre. He's been off waivers in our league for a while because he's been playing really good the last month. But yeah, I agree. Same as you, dude. Colts should. It's going to be a high-scoring game, I think.
Yeah, that's fair. I can see that. Happening. The Philadelphia Eagles are going against the Arizona Cardinals. Josh, who you got? Who you sitting? Who's starting?
I'm sitting. I would start 0 people on the Eagles. None. Cardinals, D-Hop, and Kyler Murray. Dan Arnold. Philadelphia struggles against the tight end. No, all kidding aside. Hey, how much gets a touchdown today?
What?
I bet you Dan Arnold scores more points than Gronk today.
You already owe me $80, so you want to
I got to start recouping stuff. All right.
Okay, $5. We'll bet on it. $5.
That's fine. Dan Arnold. Remember that. When Dan Arnold's like famous, he'll remember me. But on the Eagles side, I don't like a lot in this matchup. Hurts, I get it. Like David Jones said earlier, the running ability, Miles Sanders, like we both said, we don't trust him. It's just way too inconsistent. The offensive line's bad. So if you're forcing me to pick, Sanders would probably be their best bet. And if you love Hurts' running ability, then fine. I just wouldn't start him myself.
Yeah, that's fair. I agree with that. For me, man, it's Arizona. It's everybody in the offense that I think, that's productive. D-Hop. I would start D-Hop. I would start Kyler Murray. I would start Kenyon Drake. I would start Chase Edmonds. And I'm not starting Dan Arnold. I'm sitting him. And I would start, you know what? No, I'm going to start Christian Kirk. No Darius Slay. Darius Slay. So D-Hop should eat. Philadelphia side, I will start Miles Sanders. You have to. You just have to. Arizona's defense is probably lower middle of the pack.
They're middle of the pack, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm definitely going to start Miles Sanders. Receiver side, I'm not starting Rager. I'm not starting any of these cats. And I'm not starting Hurts. I don't feel good about it. I don't feel good about the matchup. Josh, we haven't talked about the fact that Arizona needs to win. They have to win to even stay afloat of the wild card. Minnesota is still surging. So that has to be taken into account. Those are my starts of the week. I'm sitting everybody else. Should I pick up the Colts D? Yes. Crystal, pick them up. If there's no one else you feel comfortable with, Indianapolis Colts defense is still worthy of a pickup. They still are number 6 in total defense. It's definitely a safe bet to pick them up and start them. Hayden Hurst is 109 years old. Yes. Okay. Hashtag Dan Arnold. It's never going to trend. So just let it go.
Will.
No,
just wait
it
for
won't.
tonight. Watch him get 3 touchdowns today.
Not happening. New York Jets against the LA Rams. For me, this is going to be the first time I think I said it all year. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
No one to start for the New York Jets. No one. I have no one. Everyone is a sit. Usually I'll say like Mims or, something like that, Josh.
Merriman, Crowder.
Yeah, but no one's a start. LA Rams are going to thrash this team. And with that being said, Rams, I am starting every option I have. Higbee, Kupp, Woods. But my must start for the running back, number one must start for the running back position is Cam Akers. I think Cam Akers has the best matchup of the week, even better than Derrick Henry going against Detroit. I like Cam Akers a little bit more than Derrick Henry because I feel like Sean McVay and his play calling is always run, and implement the running back, make it a force, win in the trenches. And I got Cam Akers. Whoever has Cam Akers, God bless you for holding on to him all year. A buddy of mine, Matt Thomas, he held on to him all year, and it has been wonders for him now. It's paying off. So that's my start of the week right there, buddy.
It's crazy, dude. He sat in the waivers in our league forever. It wasn't until after like week 11 that anybody even picked him up. So it's kind of insane because, like you said, next year he's going to be, I'd say, at least a second round pick.
Yeah. I agree.
So Maddox, the other Eagles corner, the other starter, is also out today. So
I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you. It's gonna be a barn burner for Kyle Murray.
I need it. I'm getting my ass kicked already. I played against Stephon Diggs and Buffalo's defense yesterday, so it was pretty rough.
For some godforsaken reason, I don't understand this, Josh. How was this game not Sunday night primetime? Kansas City against the New Orleans Saints. I know Cleveland Browns and New York Jets. Cleveland Browns are fighting for a division. I don't get it. But anyways, Kansas City against New Orleans. Probably the matchup of the week for me personally. I wish Michael Thomas was in because then we would have seen both teams go back and forth fully loaded. But we're not going to see that unless they match up again in the Super Bowl, which there's a high favorable chance that we see both these teams rematch, playing again in a rematch again in Super Bowl, which I think would destroy ratings. But other than that, for me, Josh, Kansas City, it's obviously Patrick Mahomes, obviously Tyreek Hill, obviously Travis Kelce, and my surprise start of the week, I lost on it this last week, but I feel like he can do some damage, is Sammy Watkins. He's going to be my sleeper of the week for this week. And I just feel like Lattimore and Tyreek Hill is going to get a lot of attention. And then you're going to have Kelce against these they're average to good linebackers. Let's be real here. Saints got some good athletes. Yep.
Alexander trade was huge, man. He's making big plays. When they were coming back last week against Philly, Alexander's out there stripping the ball out. When Hurts fumbled that ball, I mean, they have really good linebackers too.
I agree. So I think Sammy's going to line up against Janoris Jenkins if the Rabbit is playing today. I don't know if he is or not. I know you can double check real quick. But Sammy Watkins is going to destroy that matchup. I think Mahomes is going to focus on that. And I'm sitting CEH. I don't feel comfortable with CEH. I don't feel comfortable with Le'Veon Bell, obviously. This running game, I think Damian Williams might have a starting job when he comes back next year. I really do. CEH really hasn't done that much to me to show me that he deserves the starting role. So that kind of I don't know where Le'Veon Bell is going to go next year, but it's going to be really interesting when Damian Williams comes back to see what this Chiefs team does with their running backs. New Orleans, I'm for me personally, just me, I'm sitting Drew Brees. Michael Thomas is not there. Don't feel comfortable with it. Alvin Kamara, Jared Cook are my starts for New Orleans this week.
Jenkins is not on the injury report, so unless he's a healthy scratch, I assume he's in.
Oh, McCole Hardman. Yeah, good call. McCole Hardman. We subbed him. Yeah. Good call, David.
Yeah, he's projected to start next to Lattimore, so that'll be interesting. Lattimore versus Hill is going to be very fun to watch. I'm sitting Breeze. He's coming off an injury. It's rough. Kamara's the must start in this. Check downs, handoffs. They're going to feed Kamara. I actually think Latavius Murray might get a lot of work out of the backfield as well. I don't think they're going to throw Breeze out there and make him throw it 40 times in his first game back from having every damn rib in his body broken.
He might though. I don't see it happening because of Kamara, but it's a good call. It's a good call.
I mean, it's rough. We'll see. It's his first game back. Last year he came back and he threw for over 350 yards and 4 touchdowns. They said on ESPN this morning. So Breeze might come out guns blazing because they're going to have to score.
Agreed.
Same suspects for Kansas City, man. Kelsey's probably going to lead the league in receiving. He'll be the first tight end, I think, ever to lead the league in receiving, I think is what it is. Because they're talking about it on NFL Game Day this morning. Hill, you have to play him, but the matchup could be rough with Lattimore. Listen, David Jones, it's going to be fun. Either, he's slightly a Saints fan, right? But that's going to be a fun matchup. And you might want to you want to bracket Hill. I know you trust Lattimore and you want to bracket the guy. Don't do what Tampa did and let him put up 200 yards in the first half on you. Try to shut down Tyreek Hill. But usual suspects on Kansas City. Don't like the running backs. I agree. Damian Williams was that MVP of the Super Bowl last year. It's insane because he's not a quarterback, but he was the guy that was running all over the 49ers when Mahomes was struggling. And I think he will be the starter next year. But same thing, dude. I agree with you on Kansas City.
Yep. Cleveland Browns against the New York Giants. It's a Sunday night primetime game. Browns coming off a devastating loss. Baker Mayfield's playing really good football as of late, which is good to see because I don't feel bad right now as I did early. Like 5 weeks ago, I was telling you Baker might possibly be a bust. That's the number 1 overall pick back in 2018, I believe. And now he's playing good ball. So I still want to see more out of him. I still want to see more of a consistent basis from him. And how you are, Josh, with Josh Allen is how I am with Baker Mayfield. I want to see what he does in the postseason. He needs to slip. I mean, his job, I think we both can agree his job is safe because it's a winning season and they're going to get a playoff appearance, I believe, if they win tonight. I don't know for sure. Yeah. I got to double check. I'm pretty sure they get a playoff spot. With that being said, Josh, I'm looking at tonight. I like the Browns offense a lot. Nick Chubb, Kareem Hunt, Baker Mayfield, and Jarvis Landry are my must-starts and because you know me, Josh, I got 3 sleepers of the week. My second sleeper of the week is Rashad Higgins. He is my second sleeper of the week at receiver. The guy has filled in the OBJ shoes tremendously and done better. This offense flows like a well-oiled machine when OBJ is not in the starting lineup. OBJ, bold prediction, will be gone in the offseason. And the team that's going to be trading to him is the Houston Texans. That's my bold prediction for the offseason. OBJ will be traded to Houston. With that, don't ask me how or why. It's in my gut. And for the New York Giants side, offensively, Evan Ingram, and that's it. Oh, and Wayne Gallman. That's it.
Yeah, this feels like a defensive game to me. It really does. I like Chubb and Hunt, though, just because the volume they're going to be used. And when you get close to the goal line, one of those 2 guys are getting the ball. Receiver-wise, I like Higgins, dude. He's played really well the last few weeks. And with OBJ being out, it's really allowed Baker to spread the ball out instead of force-feeding one guy. Mm-hmm. And when I was on Game-Winning Drive with Alex Wednesday, my bold prediction for OBJ was New England trade Stephon Gilmore straight up for Odell Beckham Jr., and that hits our need for receiver, and that gets Gilmore off our books and gives Cleveland a shutdown corner. And the money works. They're about the same contract, so it's a clean wash. And obviously, we need a receiver.
I do that right away. If I'm Cleveland, I do that right away.
Yeah, like New England's not there. we got to pay J.C. Jackson. Like we have to. Belichick's not going to pay a guy getting older. He's going to pay a guy coming up. So we have some players coming up, and we need a quarterback. So how do we make our quarterback transition easy? Get him a legit number one receiver. Get him into New England culture. Calm his ass down. It's his fresh start. He'd roll. But anyway, back to this game. Evan Ingram and Goldman is it for me. Colt McCoy is the quarterback. No Danny Dimes. So that really hurts the receiving course. I wouldn't trust any of them outside of Ingram, like you said. And the Cleveland side, I love the running backs just because of the volume. They're both in the game. And they play together a lot, which I think is kind of cool. Because two huge backs, you wouldn't think they'd be in the game at the same time. Tight ends, irrelevant for the Browns. No Hooper, but still, Njoku and them don't trust them. Higgins and Landry. That's about it. I think this is a defensive game. It screams 20-17 to me.
I agree. Guys, final game of the week. Pittsburgh Steelers against the Cincinnati Bengals. Steelers defense has been on the lower end of things as of late. Obviously losing a lot of pieces on the defensive side. And the offense of Pittsburgh has not been clicking at all. But with that being said, I think Pittsburgh is going to turn it around. And I like Deontay Johnson. I like Juju. And I like Claypool. I do not like the running backs. I'm sitting Connor. I'm sitting Snell. And I'm definitely starting Big Ben this week. For Cincinnati side, I'm looking at sitting Gio Bernard. I am obviously sitting their quarterback. I don't even know who the quarterback is. And I am starting two guys.
Finley.
Oh, okay. Well, then I'm starting two guys. I'm starting two guys, Tyler Boyd and T. Higgins. That's it for me. This matchup looks terrible. Pittsburgh should get back on the winning streak right here, which would give them a good, comfortable lead. And I believe that will probably clinch in the North, right?
It will.
If Cleveland wins tonight,
they need a Browns loss.
Okay. So I mean, it's pretty much safe to say that Pittsburgh were looking really good if they win Monday night. So yeah, that's it, man.
We'll pretty much have that 2 seed locked in, and they still can get the 1 if Kansas City were to lose to New Orleans.
Yes. Before you go, Josh, Jose Vega, pick 2. Matt Ryan, Breeze, Nate Mullins, Kirk Cousins. Who you got?
Matt Ryan and Drew Brees.
Yeah, that's easy for me, Jose. I'm going Matt Ryan and Drew Brees. Mullins, I'm staying away from just because it's just I don't know what he's going to bring to the table. I know it's Dallas' defense, but they could just run. I don't feel comfortable. And Kirk Cousins against Chicago, don't like it. Don't like division rivals. I don't like starting a quarterback against a division rival, especially with the hot and cold Bears defense who really played well against Minnesota. So I'm staying away from that. Matt Ryan, I like that matchup against Tampa Bay for him, and Drew Brees against Kansas City, whose defense is like middle of the pack. So I feel Drew Brees can still dump and dive and pick apart this defense with a lot of slants and ends like he always does. And yeah, I feel comfortable with that with those two guys. David Jones, Stefanski, coach of the year. I agree. He is my coach of the year. Josh, any disagreement to that?
Nope. The only other person I would have would be Belichick if he somehow got this team to the playoffs, and he won't. So Stefanski's the fair bet because this would be Belichick's best coaching job. Yes, he's won Super Bowls, but this team has no business being in the playoffs.
I think there is a team out there in Cliff Kingsbury. If he had a postseason appearance, if he made the postseason, then he would also be in the running for me. But you know, I still think that it belongs to Cleveland. Ryan, I think until Burrows comes back under center, all Bengal players are unstartable, especially this week against Pittsburgh. That's fair. I get that. I totally get that. It's just hard. It's hard to sit Boyd down because the targets he gets. But you know, I get that. I respect that, Ryan. Guys, that's our show. Josh and I are thankful for you guys tuning in. A lot of comments today, a lot of starts and sits. Please share the news and tell about the Blitz. We are going to be back for next week, championship week for fantasy football. I know people are going to have a lot of questions, a lot of concerns with their starts, who to sit. We will bring the injury report. We're going to give the best information we can give you, the best advice we can give you, and hopefully that will give you a dub today, and then we'll talk again next week, and hopefully we'll give you a dub next week in the championship rounds. Any final thoughts, Josh?
Dude, real quick, the college football playoffs just got set. So Notre Dame stayed in the top 4 after getting waxed by Clemson. So you got Ohio State versus Clemson, Bama versus Notre Dame. So that's going to be fun to start off 2021. But no, kind of like you said, thanks everybody for tuning in. Appreciate the questions. We'll be here next week. It could possibly be me versus Drew in our championship game in our league as well. So what a fitting way to end our first season, so to speak, of Blitz. So it'll be fun. Christmas coming up. I mean, Buzz, we have you covered going into Christmas. Stand Your Ground is today at 2:00. We have an interview with one half of the Impact Tag Team Champions today, I think at 3:45-ish with Alex Benison of Armchair Wrestling. Got Game Winning Drive Wednesday, the boardroom with your boy Alex and Bakley will both be on. We're doing the NBA preview because the NBA starts Tuesday, so we're going to go from 6th right into the first game. Arena of Rock.
Can I join?
Yeah.
Oh, I want to join.
First game's Tuesday at 7:30. So we're literally previewing right into the first game. So it actually worked out.
Oh, I'm in. Let's go.
And Arena of Rock, our debut episode their debut episode as part of the Buzz is this Tuesday at 8:00 Eastern Time. We'll be talking Van Halen album Mania. Check it out. Got a new rock kind of thing going on with the Buzz.
Nice.
And RSH is moved to Wednesday this week. And we're going to have Working Fans podcast collaboration. We're going to bring their whole podcast on this week. So that'll be fun as well.
Awesome, man. A lot of stuff, like you said, a lot of stuff going on around the Buzz. Got some huge interview possibilities coming up. We'll share that with you guys once we lock down the dates. Obviously, Christmas is coming up, so we're working on those dates with everybody. Guys, continue to keep following the Buzz on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Subscribe on YouTube. It does wonders for us. And if you guys have a chance, man, please, on that bottom ticker, go on manscaped.com. There's some great products out there for your significant other, for a white elephant gift, 20% off, free shipping, like we said earlier in the podcast. Check it out. Thank you guys so much for joining the Blitz. Good luck to all the managers today, and we'll try to get you guys next week, and we'll always try to do better. Until then, be safe, be kind, and we'll see you guys next week.